Well, the heavy lifting is now done for Nebraska as they get ready for Saturday's season opener with South Alabama. Hi, it's Sean Callahan for HuskerOnline.com. We had a chance to talk with Nebraska offensive coordinator Troy Walters, several different assistants and players here as things came to a wrap. But the big news here on Wednesday was off the field when Walters announced that redshirt freshman tight end Katerian Legrone and redshirt freshman wide receiver Andre Hunt are suspended indefinitely.
I just want to start with saying very pleased with the last 3 days of practice. Guys have come out, have been focused. Great work getting ready for South Alabama. Very pleased with where we are heading into Saturday's game. Want to make an announcement. We have indefinitely suspended 2 of our players, Andre Hunt and Katerian Legrone, from all team football activities. But like I said, we're excited about where we are as a team in preparation for South Alabama.
Why have they been indefinitely suspended?
I don't want to get into that. We're going to handle it in-house, so don't want to comment on that right now.
Are they suspended for the same reason, in tandem with each other?
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that. They just will not be a part of the team right now.
As for on the practice field, a lot of attention on Saturday will be on that center position on the offensive line. We talked to Greg Austin about what he's looking for out of Cameron Jurgens.
When he's healthy, he's been in there, and it's been a noticeable difference in the production of the offense with him in there compared to anybody else being in there.
What's his weight at right now?
Cam is right at about 280, 279, like high 270s, 280, low 280s, something like that, depending on how big his meal is.
What's Dave think he can get up to, like, and carry it properly?
I don't know. He was in springtime. He was about 285 in springtime, and he looked pretty good. I think that everything is for him right now is appropriate to how much he can sustain, keeping his explosiveness, but then also keeping him, to your point, healthy from how well does he move, how much is too much weight, what's the pressure look like at the pressure points in his body that are taking the most stress, and that's the science behind it that you kind of have to finagle with right now with him and his growth.
And with that said, behind Jurgens on Saturday will be redshirt freshman Will Farniak, another guy that Austin said they're going to need.
Will has done a good job. I mean, Will's been, back there encouraging him, and it's not easy, having situations like these, because Will's done a good job of stepping in there and busting his tail to, be the starter, and we're going to have to depend on Will a whole heck of a lot this season. So I think that Will, being the team player that he is, being the selfless player that he is, I think that he wants what's best for this O-line. He wants what's best for his team. And Will's a redshirt freshman, as is Cam is. And typically guys don't play their redshirt freshman year as O-linemen. You really don't start playing until you redshirt junior, redshirt sophomore, redshirt junior year.
Still no word, though, on if Nebraska plans to pull the red shirt on true freshman offensive lineman Bryce Benhart.
Right now, that's still to be determined. We're still determining that and juggling some things around our heads as it relates to the whole group and what that looks like for Bryce. Certainly, he's at least a 4-game guy right now. Depending on what happens in this game, depending on what happens these next few weeks, we'll have to make those decisions. But right now, he's in the 2 deep, and that's where we intend to keep him. And then hopefully we can, go from there. Maybe he ascends from there, and we can move some things around, or maybe he stays where he is, and maybe he's just a 4-game guy. If we get late in the season, and if we can keep that red shirt on him, let's keep it on him.
As for the running back position, we talked to Ryan Held. They don't have an exact plan on what they're going to do with their guys, but expect a good taste of everything.
Yeah, I have an idea. It'll be kind of feel for the game. Seeing how it's going, who's executing, who's doing what they're supposed to do. But again, we want to be in position where 3 or 4 guys are ready to go. Wandale will obviously play receiver, but then he'll play in the backfield too as well. Miles Jones potentially could too. So, we have some guys that gives us some different options back there. But, again, you got to be prepared, ready to go, whether you're the fourth guy or the third guy, because, again, I said it before, you're one play away from being the number 2 guy or the number 1 guy. And just like kind of we did last year, we kind of felt it out a little bit first 2 or 3 games, and then it worked itself out. It's a long season, and there'll be injuries and different things, execution. So our guys got to be ready to go, and you got to go into the game thinking I'm going to be ready. If I'm called upon, I got to be ready to go.
And as Nebraska approaches the opener, there's no question this quarterback position is on solid ground, led by Adrian Martinez.
Adrian is a special young man. He made plays last year that were pretty special, and he's followed it up this year in camp. Rolling one way, throwing it across his body, where only the receiver could make a play. I mean, he's special, and we look forward to what he's going to do this season, and he'll add a whole nother element to what he did last year, because he works his tail off, and you could tell this offseason he's worked his tail off, not only physically but also mentally in the playbook, understanding the offense, understanding why we want to run certain plays. So excited about what he's going to do.
Doing his job, Not a big wow moment for me. Just do your job. Obviously, he's a special cat and doing some things, but if we didn't work on those sorts of things, I would, I'd be a little bit more surprised. But the fact of the matter is that we work on all those kind of crazy throws, pre-practice, during practice, after practice, that it's something that Coach Frost wants us to be able to do, and damn it, we're going to get it done. And we have to work on those things, He expects that, so let's go.
And finally, we're just at the point now where Nebraska wants to play a game. The guys, everyone is ready for Saturday.
They're ready to play a different opponent. Plus, they're sick of listening to my dumb ass, so they're ready to get going. They're chomping at the bit.
Our guys are really hungry to go out and go against somebody else. We have obviously some newcomer guys, and there'll be a lot of good stuff on Saturday, but, obviously there'll be mistakes too. We'll coach them up, get them right, but I know our guy, the physical part, the hay's in the barn, all right, that's done. Now we move on to recovery and mental, then we'll ramp it back up Friday, and then Saturday it's we're ready to go.
Huskers are scheduled to have a walkthrough practice here on Thursday. We'll also hear from head coach Scott Frost for the final time with potentially an update on Maurice Washington. With the Huskers here in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.